Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good
Welcome to
morning. Good
the
morning. Good
winning
morning.
circle. If you made it here,
Welcome to
everything
Cash
you done
Camp.
put in the work.
This is Samuel Bean, today's host. I also have our guy Forrest on here. He might chime in from time to time. I might snatch him in here and get his insight on some things. But every week, guys, every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, this is what we do. This is where we come. This is where we go, and this is where we grow. So I'm excited about Grant Cardone. For most of you who are brand new, we have a lot of brand new people coming into our actual investment group, our business academy. And this is one of the things that people, see and they marvel at, and they really and truly lose it over because they've been in things before, but they've never had access to this type of skill set development. They've never had access to these types of as women will say in a house, when they're setting up their houses, the careful touches and the beautiful touches and things like that that people take for granted, right? And so for those of you who are here, again, a lot of you guys are on Facebook. And so if you're on Facebook, make sure you make your way to getting a GCU account, because again, that's where you get all of the benefits from. As a matter of fact, that is the first of the month. So again, this is when the new enrollments kick in, right? And for those of you who are on the regular enrollments, it's $150 per month, right? And that's all it is for you to be trained by the best in the world at training people. Plus, you have access to our leaders who are taking the information that they're teaching. And, we're teaching you guys, what you guys need to know on our platform in our industries, okay? Then you also have the people who are Plus and VIP members. VIP and Plus members, these are people who are really making sure you guys have a platform to do business on, okay? And so I really appreciate all of our leaders, who are Plus members. Plus members, guys, these are people like yourselves who have a $300 per month membership, and that $300 per month membership covers 6 people, you and 5 others. And so now you're not really even paying attention to how much it's costing. You're paying attention to how many people who you have on your front line that are being developed and trained for you on your behalf with a $500 budget, a $300 budget. So it's basically all your people get trained for $50 a person, but you're the person that's paying for it. Okay, and so that's huge. And then you have the VIP program. The VIP program, guys, it's $500 per month, and that $500 covers you and 10 people. So now you have a portfolio of people who are investing and want to go out here and build a portfolio, or just refer the product confidently to people without even building a group. And then you have people who want to go out here and build up their dream trips platform. So we have a special occasion, coming up. Matter of fact, we're in talks right now having a GCU, a Grant Cardone University representative here next week is the goal. Okay, and so I'll know that by Monday, no later than Tuesday. But we will have someone here on next Saturday here, if everything goes well, and it should, from Grant Cardone University. And we've had that in the past, so that's not nothing new. But it's going to be something special. It always is. Okay, so now you have, again, that's happening. Okay, and for those of you who are wondering what comes with that membership, guys, the membership for you comes at a huge discount. For us, it was 10 grand down, $2,900 a month, basically. And so now a person gets that for $150, as opposed to paying the full price. And that's why it's so important that we honor our Plus members and VIP members, because those are the people who are helping people see how powerful the system is. But you have access to the modules. The modules are huge, guys. The modules, you'll hear some people talk about that today and every Saturday. But he has training modules on every aspect and area of sales, period. Okay. He has aspect, when it comes to just something as simple as making a phone call, piquing interest, breaking the ice, setting appointments, making sure the appointments stick, making sure people know what to do, during the appointments, making sure that people are making purchases and sales mentally and emotionally while they're going through your presentation process, how to, close, how to follow up, follow through, the whole entire thing, guys. It's a science. Okay? And you have to make sure that you put yourself in a position where you go to those modules and you watch those modules. Don't take them for granted. Okay. And then you have, the daily routines of people who are actually doing live calls and live trainings. Okay. So you'll have his Grant Cardone University, his A players, his top guys, doing rally calls. And these rally calls are Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and they're on Zoom. They don't record them, but they go live every day, and they help people like you in different companies, learn how to go out there and increase your sales. It's not just 10x, guys. I can tell you there are people who have 100x, 1000x their sales, 10,000x their sales in this group alone. Right? And so don't sleep on it. Right? Do not sleep on it. But every day they role play, and you can role play with them, or you can learn something from them every day, even if you don't participate. And then Saturday, again, we run off the week where we have this boot camp, this crash camp. And this crash camp is specifically our group with specifically, the things that are in our ecosystem. So whatever person wants to, role play or ask questions about, from a standpoint of, how to, questions when it comes to closing, introductions and stuff like that, PS5, all that good stuff. That's what you come here for. Okay? And so we do it live on Saturdays based on the VD Plus members and the VIP members affording you guys that opportunity. Again, it's their generosity, which is why we have an open community on Saturday. So you guys be able to get something, a taste of what we actually do and what we actually have access to. And I know a lot of you guys, I've heard this from a man and from a woman, that they've seen over time the men and women who are in Crash Camp or who are in GCU evolve right before their very eyes. And so you guys are giving them all the social proof that they need. Okay. So with that on the books, and for those of you who are listening out there, you still want to go ahead and enroll while it's time. You want to go ahead and go to skforesight-mg.com. Okay. No, I'm sorry, not SK, foresight-mg.com. I apologize. Foresight-mg.com. And that's FORESIGHT-MG.com. And you'll see, there you go. Thank you, Forrest. And you'll see the actual link there, guys. You can go ahead and download, or you can go ahead and register for GCU. But the other thing is that same website gives you access to the PS5 format, the outline that we use when it comes to prospecting. So you guys can go there, download it, even while you're on here today, because there's going to be some role playing where some people I'm quite sure are going to want to go over our PS5. It's priceless. All right. So with that being said, guys, every week we like to start this thing off, and Forrest has his way of starting things off, and so do I. And I like to start off with the reflections, as always. We all have that in common. And so for those of you who have been on Crash Camp, Crash Camp from last Saturday to everything that happened to today, whether it be rally calls or within trainings, or whether it be something you got from something else this week, I want to hear about it and what you learned. I want to hear about how you're going to use it. And I want to hear about it in this about a 90-second to 2-minute format, please. So I have Miss Carla Wynn. All right, Carla, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Great morning, great morning.
A little bit louder for us. We can't hear you, though.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yes. Great morning, Mr. Dean. Thank you for this platform. And I also want to thank all of our angel investors and VIP and plus members for the platform, for this platform this morning. What I really got out of this week, actually, in addition to the rally calls, was all of the presentations that our team members did this week. The most powerful one for me was actually Thursday evening, in which both the tag team of Ms. Laura Johnson, Ms. Angel Trent, and Ms. Tarika Cephas, oh my God, I just can't even explain how they broke things down. There are certain people in my life that I've been sharing this with, and Thursday's night message was specifically tailored to one particular individual that I just was able to share the presentation with. So I just want to thank you for that.
No problem, no problem. And guys, the presentations are education for a lot of you who are already in the system. And so you don't have to get, on a presentation just because you're looking at an opportunity. For me, everybody has a different way of presenting. They have a different way of releasing information, right? They have different information and updates real time, and I can learn anything from anybody. And so I'm just telling you, having your people on the calls are important because your people can talk to your prospects and your family and friends in a manner that you cannot. That you're so close to them that they are comfortable with you, and they pretty much already know what your value is as it's perceived in their space, in their mental space. So again, when you actually edify the platform, you edify the system, you edify that we have speakers, even if you don't know who the speaker is, and they show up just by virtue of that they have to be a leader to speak. When they show up and show out, those people get started. Again, you have the system to thank for it. And so don't think for 1 second that you're stronger or bigger or smarter than the system. None of us are. Okay. Let's just say right now, I'm at about $3,500 a day. Okay. Without the system, I'm not doing $3,500 a day. Right. Without the system, I don't have 2,700 wallets in my portfolio. Right. Without the system, I'm not in all the countries that we're in around the world. Right. I am only as strong as the system is and as effective as I am following following the actual guidelines of the system or steps within the system, following the system itself. So again, that's a part of the system that a lot of people miss on. Carlin, I'm glad you brought that up. I appreciate that. But it's 6 different trainers a week, 6 different presenters a week. So you have 6 different personalities with 6 different perspectives. And if you don't like one, guess what? There are 5 more. I actually had a person who said, you know what, the presentation style for 2 of the people who are not are styles that I appreciate. I said, we're great. What are you on Thursday? What are you on Saturday? What are you on? We have 4 other trainers, right? Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. Again, don't focus on what the negative is. Focus on the positive. You can always find something negative about something, but you can also find something positive about it. Okay? But that's the thing. The system is there for you guys. The system is an acronym. Save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. So always lean on the systems. All right, Tim Lambert, let's go. You're next. Oh, excellent. Let me see here. I'm mute. There we go. I got you.
There we go. Well, thanks for the platform and the time, Mr. Mean. Also, happy early birthday to you.
Appreciate you.
The thing I got from this week was just being accountable to myself. Last week here on Cross Camp, I said that one of the things I wanted to implement was plugging more people into this ecosystem, into one of those 6 different calls we have with the Money on Mindset. And I had an investor call me this week, like, how do I introduce this to you? I said, and I let them know. And I said, look, we have 6 calls during the week. Why haven't you been plugging in? I've been sending you the link, and they said, okay, I'm gonna start learning and start plugging in. So just being accountable, and also using that PS5 to not only introduce it to people around me, but also it also works online. So I have an appointment with gentlemen that I don't even know that I met just from networking online that I have an appointment on Tuesday. So that was my biggest takeaway. Also, the modules, always ask those fact-finding questions and listen to their answers.
There you go. All right, Tim. This is good stuff here. Well, first of all, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who can relate to the accountability thing, and that's the thing that people who lack discipline, they need it the most, and the people who lack discipline, or the ability to create discipline, in this situation, you need accountability. And think about it, when you go to work. Do you need accountability partner to get up out of bed, get showered, take the kids to school early, and go to work through the rain to get there on time? Do you need somebody to call you for that? If you believe that, exactly. If you believe somebody needs to tell other people when to get up and go to work, so let's say yes. If you believe that they don't, say no. I just want to know who I'm talking to this morning. I want to make sure y'all wake up, because I hadn't had my coffee, but I'm hoping y'all did. All right, so no, okay, great. So you think that's pretty much, that's normal, right? I mean, that person's disciplined. Okay, well, that's going to pay your bills. That's going to keep a roof over your head. It's going to keep food on the table. It's going to put your kids in really good schools. The money that you're making on your job. But we're talking about you having the ability to get filthy, stinking, hog nasty rich, and you won't create the same level of discipline for your freedom, for your wealth. You won't go out and say, you know what, I want to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm on crash camp at 8, and you ain't got to go nowhere. My grandmother used to say, that's trifling. so yeah, I'm just saying, it's like the things that you would do, to stay on a job. It amazes me. Like, to stay on the job, you won't go talk to nobody, outside of your household about this opportunity. To stay on your job, you won't get up and look at the modules, on Grant Cardone, or get on the rally calls, or get on this call. You won't get on the millionaire mindset calls on Monday nights, because you want to keep the job. You want to stay at work, right? You want to create the disciplines to do the things to get you rich, right? To go to an event that's in your city while it's raining. And you know what? It's the same rain that you went through to work in, but you won't go get rich in. It's the same rain. I'm just saying. So you create disciplines for what you really value, what you really love, what you really respect, what you fear loss of. Mostly it's about what you fear loss of. So you can't fear something you never had. You can't fear losing millions if you never had millions. But the thing that you got to understand is you have millions, you just haven't, put in the passcode to get access to it. Passcode is, accountability, discipline, showing up and applying what you learn. You have millions right here in your bank account, but you won't go to the file cabinet and look for the actual account information. You just, let the bills go unpaid. You'll, let the car get repossessed. You know what I'm saying? You let the people starve. Right? Let people lose their houses because you won't go to the file cabinet. And all you got to do is go to the file cabinet, get the password to the account, go to the bank, pull the money out. So that accountability, self-accountability, guys, is what it gets you rich or keep you from it. You either have it or you don't. You're either willing to create it or you're not, right? Because right now, we have 27 people on crash camp, right? And we have 2,700 people. And this is on Zoom. We have 2,700 people with wallets. So like Pastor Marlon Bailey was on here, he'd be like, that'll preach right there. That'll preach right there. 2,700 wallets. I'll show you why a small percentage of people around the world own the wealth around the world. That shares with, think about it for a second. 3% of people, again, own and control 97% of the wealth around the world, the money around the world, right? And 97% of people fight for the last 3% that's left. They fight for the last 3% that's left, right? And so I'm like, all they had to do is apply themselves and be accountable for their goals, their dreams, and they go out there, become creators, and they become a part of 3%ers. And by average, somebody else will lose their dream and they'll fall back to population. because again, that's how it is. That's how society is. But accountability, and Tim, I can go on that one all day long. So the other thing that you said is you could do the PS5 online. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was the most effective at using the PS5 online. You know why? Because they can't see you. You have no reason to be nervous. You know, you got to hit a person with the form technique. You start a conversation, and guess what? You see them typing, right? And then sometimes what happens? The little thing goes away that says that they're typing, and you don't see any words. They stop typing and got distracted, or they stop typing and say, you know what, I'm gonna delete it, or they stop typing, so you know what, let me change that, or whatever it is, but they stop typing. So when you're typing, you can do the same exact thing. You can have a question from somebody, and you can call Laura and say, hey, Miss Laura, I got this person online I'm talking to online, and I was talking to them about this, and this is what they said. What would you say here? And basically she's gonna give you an answer. You'll go back 5 minutes later, 2 minutes later, 2 hours later. It don't matter. And you'll pick up where you left off, and you'll type in an answer and a response, and hey, sorry, I was busy. I was at the office, I was making phone calls, something like that. But hey, got an answer for you. And so now, because it's not a face-to-face conversation, right? You're in no rush. You got access to get the right answer, and you don't have anybody looking at you, and you're all petrified because you're doing a presentation. It's one of the easiest ways, and again, we talk about you having it right there at your fingertips on social media, right there. So that's a great one, Tim. Online PS5, and like I said, whether it be typing online or whatever, but online, you guys have all these social media, different things that you have on social media that you can actually go through and do presentations every day. Angel on social media is an animal. Just telling you. She can go through social media. Her and Evans both. Oh my God, her and Evans are on social media, and they're finding people to talk to multiple times every day, all through the day. Okay, most of the 99%, 95% of Angel's whole entire, her and Evans is about 90%, 95% of Angel's whole entire personal portfolio came from online. Okay, talking about somebody's on purpose. Another thing, Angel, you know what? Let me pull this thing up, because this Angel sent. We talking about accountability. We send accountability text messages. Okay, and so when I'm looking at the text message that Angel sent us, let's see here. That it was amazing. Just how she drew it out, how she mapped it out, and let's see here. When you look at as a leader, when you have a portfolio, when you look at every person that's in your group, and you can say how much that person has volume wise or capital wise in their portfolio. Well, with Angel's IPAs, she has what all of her personals are at, all the people who basically she's working with, not every one of them, because that would be crazy, but all of them that are working and that have a goal of GM, right, or more. She has where they're at, she has how much they need, and she has everybody in a person's portfolio that's working with that individual and how much they have in their wallets and how much they need to hit their goals. It's very, very, you're talking about somebody who has it all mapped out, and you want to know why she's buying up all of the liquidity that Mrs. Bean and I have every day, like 5,000 here, 10,000 here every day, because somebody on her team needs money every day. And she knows that because she's looking at her whole entire team mapped out. Talking about being on purpose. Okay. But these are people that she found online, and then again, they just become a part of her process. But when you look at her process, I'm looking at even the person, this woman here, her son, 10,000, her husband, 5,000, co-worker, 1,000. This is what they're expecting. This is what they have. And then also what people have expecting big money wise. So just want to kind of give you that as a way to see how different people who are succeeding based on what we're pulling from these reflections. Thank you, Tim. Del Boudreaux, you're up next.
Yes, sir. How are you this morning? Everybody's great. First of all, I want to thank you and Mrs. Bean for putting this filthy, hog nasty, rich platform together, because we are all prospering. I mean, it's just amazing. But today I have to tell a story about my friend who is the reason why I started Grant Cardone to begin with.
Mm.
He's the guy that I just completely ran over when I first
Mm.
called him. I mean, I'm talking about leaving dead bodies all over the place. He was the first victim, right? So he's the guy that I went back to and even tried to get him in another investment with a bottle of Jack Daniels Black Label, right? So, I mean, this system, a year and a half later, he put $1,000 up. He sees his profits, and now he's going to put 10 grand up.
Mm.
It's the drip process. It's the ATM. It's the agreement drill. It's the scripts. It's the callbacks. It's the everything. You put all that together, and you don't give up on people, and you do the 365-day callback, and this is what you get, right? And this goes on over and over and over and over every day and everything that we're doing. So, to me, it was a circle that came complete, and it actually happened yesterday.
Mm.
And that dude is so happy right now about this that he's just goo goo gaga about it. I mean, it's just amazing. So, that's my story. But I really appreciate this ecosystem and everything that it's doing, not just for me. I get calls every day from my team
Mm.
about, man, thank you, Dale. I appreciate it. I mean, generally people that it's affecting their lives in a
Mm.
very, very positive way.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I know how impactful it can be, and like I said, I see it in you guys. I see you guys grow every day. I see you guys go over the years, and so and we've been at this thing for over 3 years. In this program, so we're rocking and rolling. But just going back to the evolution, guys, a lot of people. You ever notice when you talk to people who have sales backgrounds, and you try to teach them something, they don't want to hear it. Oh yeah, I've been doing sales for years. Oh yeah, I've been doing sales for 20 years. You've been doing sales for 20 years, huh? Yeah, I've been doing sales for 20 years. Okay, so let me share with you, and from what I've seen and what I've witnessed, and what I understand about your sales experience, and how good you are at it. It's almost like you've basically, had 1 year of experience of learning it and repeated it for 20 years because it doesn't look like you've grown at all. What I'm saying? There's certain people, they literally have, again, 1 year of experience and 20 years of repeating it, or 1 year of experience and 15 years of repeating it, whatever it is, however long you've been in the industry, that mean that you have that many years of experience. It just means that that's how many years you've been in the industry doing it your way, right? And that's the thing. You've been doing it your way, but your way hadn't got you 7 figures, right? So if your way haven't got you 7 figures or 6 figures a month or 5 figures a week, okay, and somebody is trying to teach you who's actually done that, wouldn't it make more sense, to actually listen to that person, right? And so it amazes me how you have people who come in and they have a way that they think they're going to do something, and they can do it their way because they have full autonomy on doing it. But don't say you're going to come in and follow the system and then turn around and do your own thing, because all the people that you see here and all the people that you see on Millionaire Mindset calls on Monday nights and all the people you see on big events that we have events, all of those people see the same thing that I see. We see ego. We've all been in this environment and this ecosystem for years. We know what ego looks like. We know what people who, when you come in here and you think you know it all, we know what you look like. We know what you sound like. We know. Again, we've been doing this for a long time. It's not just me. Like just like dogs, can tell when you're scared because you emanate fear, you emanate ego to them, right? We can smell it. And so all we do is we let the system humble you, right? Or we let your bank account humble you, or we let your ego humble you, right? To where at some point in time, you'll stop doing it your way and you'll do it the working way. Because it's not about my way, it's about the way that works for everybody. Okay. If you're the way that you've done it, is not working, just say, you know what? All right, I give up. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it your way. You're invited to come in and do it any way you want to. It's your money, you're the investor. But man, if people making millions of dollars, people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, you have people who are making $1,000 a day and they've only been in for 60 days as of today. And they were not big in sales. guys, come in and don't do what Dale did. He said he was leaving dead bodies in the street. That's a personality trait. That's a result from a personality trait. The Reds are people who have, again, they're ego driven, they're money driven, they're goal oriented, and they're gonna run through anything and everybody to get to the end of that goal. Not bad people, just again, if you're in the way of progress, you're in the way of progress. And boy, you're gonna come with me or I'm gonna run over you. So that's a personality trait. So Dale, over the years, again, just again, one, being mentored and coached, and obviously taking information in, and me and Dale have a lot of open conversations and candid conversations, and even when Dale talked when Louisiana, I said, Dale will say, look, man, the girl, I said, Dale, don't get out in public and call this woman no girl. You know what, Mr. Beam, I'm gonna stop saying that. Right? It's just stuff like that. We do this. I mean, this is live coaching, through conversation. This is live love through conversation, right? And so you guys got to understand, Dale has been a work in progress over years. Like I am still a work in progress over years. I can help Dale because I let people fix me. Like, I'm like, hey man, coach me, mentor me, because I was a mess, right? I'm telling you. And so, but Dale makes more money than most people because he's learned from a lot of his mistakes. Unlike most people think that they don't make mistakes. Most people go and they'll do the same thing the same exact way without learning or evolving, and they'll cost themselves a flat out fortune instead of just asking for help or following a system that's already laid out the work. And Grant Cardone was the thing for Dale. Dale was making money in everything. His son's business, his own business, right? And his investment portfolios, his own company. Remember, you guys are going somewhere after you get off this call, and everywhere you go, whether it be to work or to a wedding, you can use everything you learn here. This travels with your skill set, travels with you. Okay. Remember, they can't take this from you once he's up here. Yeah, it's there. So I appreciate you, Dale, being transparent, being open, and letting people know that this thing really does work, and it did work on you, because it works on us. It works on everybody. All right, Laura Johnson.
Good morning, GM family. Well, my reflection this week is about the power of the GCU. Like you just finished saying, Mr. Bean, it works on everyone. So it works on the new people because they're new to the information, but it works on me too. And I've been doing it for a couple of years now. So my big reflection was on yesterday, VAFU. Okay, he was saying, you veterans, what is VAFU? I was like, I'm a veteran. I don't know what the heck VAFU is. But then I found out it was value added follow-up. And I said, oh, this is genius. We've got this in our system. Value added follow-up. Everything in the system that Mr. and Mrs. Bean have created is value added follow-up. I was thinking about the ATM, putting people in the ATM for that value added follow-up up into an exclusive private group. The screenshots that we send, which is social proof of the earnings that we are receiving, value added follow-up. We've been told that we have to follow up with people between 5 and 12 times. And I think for me personally, that has been a little challenging because sometimes I didn't know what to send or what to do. And now I can really, I'm a green, so I can think in a very structured way of how I'm going to touch these people each and every time. And then finally, Seth on Thursday said, when someone has a question, show them, which is now back to value added follow-up, and give them more than they asked for because it builds trust. And so, for our new members, this can build trust. Being in GCU builds confidence. It builds your skill set, and it also builds your ability to speak with a level of certainty. So thank you for allowing me to share, Mr. Bean.
Oh boy, Dee was working on that one, wasn't you? Well, I tell you, that came out crisp and clean with no caffeine, and she nailed that thing, man. I'm telling you, that's a great reflection. Again, you talk about value-added follow-ups, guys. we just had one of the largest value added follow-ups, to our ecosystem that we'll have. And that was, the dream trips on Monday night. We did the actual lunch. And again, this is soft lunch, but we did a soft lunch on Monday. Sunday, we had a conversation with the leaders, right, about what we were about to do. And when you think about the presentation now, you see it Monday, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. What you'll see now is a dream trip slide on that. And it's something else that we offer, something else that we have as an add-on, right? And oh, by the way, you saw the videos, of us being in Mexico on the trip, on the yacht, whatever. We do this stuff every year, and we're going to be doing it 2 to 3 to 4 times a year now, because we just had a lifestyle dynamic added to our ecosystem. It's dream trips. And again, that's one more thing, especially when you're dealing with the blues. You hear Laura say green. I know for all of y'all who haven't been in the color chamber, our color training for character traits, greens are analytical, right? And so she's a big thinker. Blues are organized chaos. We like fun. We're we speak in color. We speak in, like you can see what we say, right? We're great promoters, right? And yellows are just people who want to save the world, and and they hug tree huggers and stuff like that. So when you might hear that, just so you know. But for me, coming from the blue side, if I'm recruiting me, I'm talking about dream trips on the end of this thing. Hey, look, we're gonna help you fire your boss who you don't like, right? We're gonna help you be able to stay at home instead of those 40, 50, 60 hours a week that you're working. We're gonna get you to a point to where now, you can just spend 15, 20 hours a week on your business, and you be working from home in flip-flops and your t-shirts, right? And guess what? You can get to go on vacation anywhere you want, anytime you want, because you can afford it. Plus, it's all deeply discounted, and we all do this together. So you need to come on, get this money, so we can go ahead and start vacationing together. And so all right, and now he put a dream trip plug in me, to help me get my enrollment done at SCF. It's the add-on. Big thinkers, okay? Your greens, people who really like to understand, the power of things. They want to learn. They love learning and evolving. So these are analytical people. These are big thinkers. GCU is a huge add-on for them. It's a huge add-on for them, okay? Yellows and blues, well, reds, the ATM is a big deal for a lot of people, but for blues, we're not organized. Again, organized chaos, right? We just, hey, I don't know how to follow up. Like Laura says, it's hard to follow up with all these hours and all these things we have going on in our life. The ATM is a perpetual follow-up machine, so I don't have to remind myself when I have Carly that's posting something, or I have LaShanique that's posting something, or I have Forrest that's posting something, and every time they post something, somebody's getting alerted, or somebody's getting a personal touch that I have nothing to do with. A reminder of somebody who's getting recognized, a reminder of somebody who's getting promoted, or somebody who just got a screenshot, or whatever it is. That's a follow-up for me. So that's less work I have to do. So that's fun. Yellows, you'll send people to the ATM because you just want to make sure that they get the guidance that they need. You want to make sure they get the help. Okay, reds, you send them there because you ain't got time to micromanage nobody, even though you want to. They go over here, and if you don't do what's in here, I'm not working with you. That's how reds behave, right? So the ATM is there, that value add-on is there, but it's the screenshots real time. Every screenshot is a new follow-up, is a new personal touch, right? Ms. Bean did a collage last night, said and put into the leadership group. I already know people are using that already, right? But 5 to 10 touches. That's why the ATM is so effective, because they get way more than 5 to 10 touches in the ATM. And a lot of you guys, I'm gonna just say, you're either selling or you're being sold. Okay, a person who does not make the type of money that they really want to make, but they're in this company and they want to build a team, but they don't want to be on Facebook. That person can't convince me that they really want to make the type of money that they say they want to make. Just saying, because all of the training stuff, the ATM and everything is on Facebook. So if your job said, hey, open up a Facebook account, or we're not going to pay you the $200,000 a year that we pay you, what would you do? Open up a Facebook account. So don't tell me that you wouldn't, because you would, right? Don't tell me that you can't, because you can. You just choose not to. That's a cop-out. So I tell people all the time, look, I don't care about, your social media beliefs. Okay. The system is in Facebook. Open up an account just for this. You don't even have to put your real name on the account. You don't even have to put your picture on the account. You can go in as an alias. I don't care. This ain't got nothing to do with your social media beliefs. But the training mechanism and what we're going to use, the community that we use to foster growth and explosive growth at that, in between for you and your team members, that's on Facebook. Okay. And so you can't sell me with that. Okay. But you guys are trying to find, what do we have a link for this? Do we have a Zoom for that? Why? Because they're not on Facebook. Whose problem is that? Okay. So stop buying people's excuses. Stop helping them fail. Okay. Give people ways they need to be led, right? People need to be led. And some of y'all know for a fact that when people tell y'all something, they pulling the wool over your eyes. They're coming for you. You just got to know how to come back and be direct, be professional, but come back with posture and let a person know that's we need to figure out something else, because that's not going to work. That's not going to get over you. All right. Let's see here. Okay. And so the value adds, you got a lot of value adds, anytime something happens, another follow-up or special touch, like you see these ads coming out, or these clips coming out. Lakeland does a real good job at finding different things. Like he just found that the HSBC bank is taking cryptocurrency for loans, for mortgages. And so when you find something out like that, I'm sending this, hey, doctor, hey, let me see here. Attorney Sloan, hey, I just sent you a text message. Read it. I ain't want nothing. I just want you to see what's happening in the crypto space. See it. There's the article. Okay. She may not text me back at all, and that's fine. Okay. I'd like for her to text me back so we can start a dialogue. But if she don't, I know she got the text message. That's fine. Guess what? When I get that text message that says, or I get that article that says Visa just got their own stablecoin, hey, Attorney Sloan, hey, look, Visa's on board with crypto now. They got their own stable coin. She's not gonna hit me back. Guess what? Another company, PayPal, got theirs, and guess what? When PayPal was getting theirs, another company was getting theirs, and so you need to come on board. And all of a sudden now I've dripped on her. I've given some of the personal touches after personal touch, and she's wanting to call me back saying, you know what, I'm ready to talk. Just educating people. Like I forgot who it was. I think it was Forrest who said, when you follow up with people, you make them help them understand that you do care. They trust you, they respect you. That's important. Just dripping on a person without even asking them to call you. That's with no, it's just know what, here's my screenshot. This is what I did today. And I do that every 2 or 3 days, every 3 or 4 days, just depending on who the person is. Some people I'll do it once every 2 weeks. Because some people, again, I'm gonna need 2 weeks because they've seen me losing something way when I first got started in network marketing. And so for them, I'll hit them every 2 weeks. Okay. And some people, and again, just depends on the person. You get a feel for the individual, but I'm dropping something, a screenshot on somebody on a regular basis. Okay. So again, value add-ons. Appreciate you, Laura. Winey, good morning. Good morning. You're up.
Good morning. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak at this moment. I guess you can say I'm kind of real with what I'm saying. I want to thank you for the presenters actually that's doing this educational training during the week. And I've sent several people to those presentations because each one has a different way of presenting the presentation, and I'm there listening and I pick up a little something each time. But I had a couple of people that I haven't been able to reach to follow up with them because they won't answer their phone. But that's not really my concern right now. I had another person that was on listening to the presentation that I thought, okay, this person, is knowledgeable because he works at JP Morgan, and he should know about banking and all this other stuff. But as I was looking at him, because I could see him because he was on Zoom, I saw the boredom in him, as if this is scam. This is not real. So I did follow up with him, and he just went, this is impossible. Yeah, even the banks can't give you 1% a day daily. And I'm saying the banks are taking your money and making 18% and more. You know, I'm like, you work at you know this, you know, and he just went on, and he goes, well, who's holding my money? Who has my money? When I put my money in Chase, I know that's where my money is, and da-da-da-da. I'm saying, okay, Whining, how do you deal with people like this that know it all? So, you know, I'm a senior citizen. I had no idea, I had no desire to bring people into this, okay? My goal was to put my little money in and let my money work for me, and the heck with it. But as I look at the program and as I see the value in it, it's like I can't help but just share it, you know? And so, okay, when I'm talking to my family, I'm sharing it with them. And in my mind, it's like, okay, you have to see the benefit. You have to see the value in this. If you don't, then it's your loss, not mine. At least when I start showing you all my money, you can't say I didn't tell you about it. So I'm just trying to figure out, you know, and he goes, well, I still want to know who has my money. And of course, I'm trying to get myself retired, and I want you send me some information on where my money is and how this works. And I'm going to let my banker look at it. I'm like, your banker? I'm saying, aren't you paying your banker? But anyway, that, you know, I'm like, okay. But my thing is, I'm just going to continue to send people to these presentations because they are fabulous. And every person that every person that have gone through has done the presentation, it's like, wow, this is amazing, you know. And then when they put the calculator up, it's like, wow. But for him to say, oh, no, I don't believe that. That's, no, that ain't working. I don't believe it.
And you know what, Winnie, the cool part about it is, it's a lot of, when I say it's people out there who are going to challenge you 100% of the time, especially if they feel like you haven't made any money in it to where you can really fight back. What happens is they attack you because it makes them feel good by not having to tell somebody who they actually respect no, right? They'll rather steal your dream, right? And tell you that it don't work while you're sitting there cashing money and pulling money out every day. And so at the end of the day, it's like those people you have a choice to speak to after that point or not. You have a choice to write them off as an egotistical person and who doesn't know anything yet. And because he was definitely not bored, like you said, he was sitting there listening to it and thinking, okay, this is a scam, whatever he was thinking. But again, that's why he's still working for somebody. His thought process, the place where they lent money at, right, with other people's money, right? He's telling you, you know, he's right there under the roof of where they do exactly what we do at the bank, right? And so, like you told him, you work for the bank, you know what they do, but that's not true. The banks, the people on the front line and the ATM, I mean, in the lobby, most of them are oblivious to what happens behind those walls. Most of them don't know anything about money. They don't educate them about money. They educate them on how to count it and make sure they got the accurate amount, how to give a loan, take an application. They don't tell them about the trading. Like, there's only a few of those people that you actually see that's walking around that bank. Like most of the people who understand money in the bank, you'll never see. You'll never see. The employees on the outside, though, who are program employees, who have an employee mindset, those individuals, again, are under the assumption that everything that has to do with compound interest, you know, outside of a bank is illegal. That's how they're programmed. So I expect to come across people like that. And again, this is what I do. I let their bank account plus my screenshots handle that individual. Like I said, and some of them who are on social media, Facebook, I let my screenshots plus my videos plus my, you know, social media posts and evolving lifestyle handle those people, right? Let their bank account handle them. Let the situations handle them. Because while you're winning and while you're actually going out here doing more than just supplementing retirement, you're out here helping other people go out here and win and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and eventually millions of dollars at some point. He's still going to have his job. Remember, you can't save everybody. If you have to beg a person to have a lifestyle, you're talking to the wrong person. Okay. If you gotta beg a person to again exchange, an idea, or to taking an idea that's going to get you 1.4% back per day on your money in return, and as opposed to allowing the bank to give you 0.25% per year on your money, and you're not willing to listen, you deserve exactly what you have coming to you. Okay. To have that, continue to have that lifestyle. And so that's not mean. That's just a fact. And people, you guys are here because you're evolving, you're changing. You understand that regardless of how good your projections were in your life, you feel like they can be better. And you feel like this is going to be one of the things that helps that person. It has to be presented to them in a manner, that has something to do with traditional business, or they won't look at it at all. Family members, same thing. If you love them, tell them about it, and then go out there and get rich right in front of them. They're the easiest. Trust me. I have an aunt. My aunts, I again, it's like when I was a kid, it's like because of my father's lifestyle, they thought I was going to be unsuccessful, right? And because of my father's lifestyle, they thought that I would be just a 24-hour day, 7-day a week, working for somebody type person, right? Or in trouble. And there was no, because my father and my cousin's fathers, again, on the food chain economically, totally different. Father down here, plumber, right? Their fathers, engineers and everything else up here. And so they always got treated better. So now, as we grew up and as we evolved, and as I got wealthy and I started doing things for my aunt, in spite of how she viewed me and treated me as a kid, I became her favorite nephew. Yeah, and that was just by default, right? Your other nephews ain't taking you on cruises. This ain't no competition. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, because I love you, I'm taking you on this cruise, right? With my other aunts, because I love you, I'm taking you shopping. Because I love you, I'm taking you to, but I'm the favorite nephew, right? At some point in time, you make a person apologize for what they thought about you and your idea. You make them respect what you do for a living. You don't have to tell them directly, they'll see it. Good news travels fast, I promise you. And bad news travels faster. So you know what's bad news? When they get a text message from you saying, thank you for praying for me and encouraging me and keeping me, wide open on my goals and my dreams with my thing. I'm at $5,000 a day now. I appreciate you. Right. And continue what you do. And on that same text, money, send them back, say, hey, look, I know banking is your heart, but continue to send me your success stories at the bank so I can celebrate you too. That's how you do that.
Gotcha.
That's how you do that, brother. All right.
I like that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Dr. Arlene, you're next.
Good morning, sir. I apologize for being late. I'm in Akron helping my son with some stuff and for a game. So my reflection this week was from I was listening to the audiobook on the way up here, Building a Millionaire Mindset. And it really, really, it's the first pillar, be your own, rescue yourself is basically what it says.
Mhm.
And it really hit me. And I had Sarah sending me notes because I'm like, I got to get this down. And it says, be on a continuous hunt for fulfillment and not contentment.
Mm.
Fulfillment and not contentment. And it really hit home to me that there's a big difference between fulfillment and contentment, and hunting for fulfillment versus contentment. Contentment is what Winnie challenged when she challenged that gentleman. He's content in where he is, and she created cognitive dissonance in him that there could be something better, even though he knows inside, it's that little empty spot inside that tells you there is something better, that you can be better, you can be a better person, you can be a multimillionaire, you can be a billionaire, but yet still contentment holds you by a chain, because it doesn't, fulfillment stretches you. Fulfillment gets you into you because you know you've got to get better at your skill. Fulfillment should get me calling you more to tap into your brain so I can move faster in what I want to do.
Mhm.
So really the difference between hunting for fulfillment versus contentment, contentment, I wrote, is an artificial fulfillment.
Well, when you said stretching and you said people were content, and I'm thinking about this man works at a bank in the United States of America, and he's probably from the U.S. And Wendy is offering him an opportunity. And I look at how many people come to America and leave a country that they love, that they were born in, so they can go out here and take care of their families. They didn't come over here to work. They work first. You know, they come over for opportunities to get rich because it's the land of the free. And we have a ton of content people in America. That's why Americans are opportunity to death. Americans are we take stuff for granted because we do have a lot of opportunity that we have available to us. But just the opportunity to being wealthy, period, the opportunity to being coached and mentored, period, those opportunities that people take for granted. But people from all around the world risk their lives to get here in a lot of different ways, just so they can get rich and send money back. I talk to people every day. I had like here in Houston, in the Latino community. When I say Latino community, it can be Cuban, it can be Colombian, it can be Venezuelan, you know, it can be Dominican Republican. All the people that I'm talking to that are laborers in here that are from different countries, they literally are sending money back home to the place where they really want to be. They made the ultimate sacrifice. They left their country, they left their flag, and had to. This is the thing. They had to come here because the opportunity with no promises to be wealthy is stronger than what they knew to be, you know, the reality over where they're from. They heard the stories and they came. They heard the stories, they risked their life. They heard the stories, they came, they conquered, and now they're sending money home. And now their families are living like kings and queens in their countries. While you have people who are over here, you know, knocking every opportunity that they see and taking every opportunity for granted. Okay? You have a lot of victims here in America, to be honest with you. A lot of victims. You got a lot of people who want to blame everybody for what their situation is and what their challenges is, and it's just not cool. It's a horrible look for a country. Let's be honest with you. A lot of the stuff we have over here, we take for granted. People can get rich if they so chose to, but it's being broke is a choice, just like being rich is. Okay, so you just got to choose not to be content, not to let your good life get in the way of your great life. Go read that book, Good to Great, right, by Mr. Collins. Good to Great is a great book. They have it on audio as well. Most people have to start thinking bigger. That's another thing. You have to start stretching yourself. The Magic of Thinking Big by Mr. Schwartz is an amazing book. And some of you guys have heard my affirmation video with my vocals. I got that idea from the book Not Think Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big by Mr. Schwartz. That book, that there's a part of that book, the audio, where he talks about the car salesperson who created a recording of himself telling himself his affirmations. And when I heard what happened to the guy, how empowered the guy became, how effective he was, how successful he became, I did the same thing. And my life changed based on me actually having that out there, me taking time to write that thing out, listen to it, and then now put it on music, listen to it on a regular basis, and then have other people listen to it. And years later, Laura was with me. She'll tell you when I first brought it out. Tim was with me, right? He'll tell you. Carly, Angel. When we first let that go, it was a major event. That was a real big deal. And years later, they seen the financial evolution and all the things that we've accomplished since that affirmation video. You got to find a way to unlock your contentness and turn it into a drive for fulfillment, like Dr. Arlene said. It's a choice, guys. It's a choice. Again, it's just that simple, but we make it more complicated than what it is. So I appreciate you, Doc. That's the word right there. And by the way, you're never late. You're always on time. I appreciate you. All right, Forrest.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Dr. Arlene just dropped some huge words that I have no idea what they mean, but I wrote them down. So, so the cool thing about this, you don't have to be super smart to be here and make money. And if you are super smart, you can make money too. So absolutely awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank that. So a couple of things that I took away from this morning, and I'm going to share my takeaways from the week is the PS5 online, right? So sometimes when we're green personalities, we take things literally and they just stick, right? And I'm an online guy, so I should have known that. So thanks for that nugget. Appreciate that. And then mapping out your team, right? I have my team. I sort of know where they're at, but I haven't mapped it out. So I'm gonna take that step and actually map them out so I know who's who in the zoo. And of course, my green brain has already put it on a spreadsheet. So I just got to get the names and numbers on there to be able to do that. But what was really important, I think you guys missed this, and I want to get some feedback on Winey, is that she's showing up and using the system, right? Regardless of the response that she's getting, right? She's not addicted to the response. She's in the activity of doing the activity of reaching out, putting people in front of the system and doing that, right? So it really doesn't matter. She's using the system the way it's supposed to be used. She's showing up, she's on crash camp, she's in GCU, she's putting people in front of the presentation, she's doing the follow-ups. All of that is part of the PS5, right? Regardless of the outcome that she's getting, she's not addicted. She's not addicted to the results. She's addicted to the activity of plugging into the system. And I wanted to say that's very, very important. If you guys missed all that, that's what I read in between the lines. She's showing up, right? She's doing what she's supposed to be doing, and she's putting people in front of the system, and she's following up. And then she's coming on crash camp, getting feedback on how to be more betterific at doing everything, right? So I just wanted to throw that out there. Winey, great job for doing that, stepping up and using the system the way it's supposed to be meant. It's simple. It's simple. And I think sometimes we overcomplicate stuff. And here's where if the feedback all the way into the, and I said that to say this, the feedback for the week, right, was certainty and confidence, right? You get confidence by doing what Winey just did, right? You get confidence by putting people in front of the system, following up and saying, dang, I don't have a clue what just happened. I'm not sure really how to respond to that, but I'm going to get questions, right? Mr. Bean put in a really good point about using the PS5 online. It's like, well, they asked this question. I'm not sure, so I'm going to reach out to Laura and get an answer how to respond to that. So the confidence is going to come in the practice and the role play and the repeating and doing like a Dale did and leaving dead bodies on the floor. You know, it's all going to come from practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. But all that comes inside the system. It's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Wash, rinse, and repeat over and over and over. The confidence is going to come when somebody asks you what it is. You can just bloop, screenshot, here you go. I'll check back with you in 90 days to see if you change your mind. That's confidence. That's posture. We're not begging anybody to do this stuff. We've got 8 billion people on the planet to reach out to. Why are we worried about one person, right? So that's all I got. Thanks for the platform. I'm excited for October.
Hey, hey, look, first of all, guys, you know, Forrest said a lot of big words. He don't know he know what all the big words is. He's actually got his own big words too. So don't let him fool you. Very wise guy. But like you said, that the process, you know, guys, when you talk about the process, if you trust the process and believe in the process, it gives you confidence. That off the bat, that gives you confidence because you know you're going to end up somewhere that other people will not, based on you going through the process. Like there's some people who are all y'all in the same company, but all y'all are not going the same place. There are a lot of people who just have wallets and who are doing everything on their own, who won't take any counseling, won't go do any 3-ways and lifelines, won't get any coaching and mentorship while they're in this process. And the bad part about it is that they're going to get good results regardless to what they do, because anytime somebody is enrolled, they're going to make 15%. Okay. And then they're going to also be able to put enough people in where they can hit a rank and look like a leader, right? Because all it takes is 5 and 50,000, 5 people direct and $50,000 in volume. And so you're going to end up looking like a leader because we made a banner for you, right? But that person is going to be teaching all the bad stuff, all the toxic stuff, directly and indirectly to their team. Okay. Remember, when you're not doing the proper activity, it's still activity. Inactivity is still something teachable. Inactivity is still something, guys, that you're putting out there for your portfolio to see. This is what I don't do every day. This is what I'm supposed to do, but I don't do every day. This is what you get it, guys. Again, for everything that you can do positive, there's a mirror. You can do the exact opposite, negative. All right. And you can, for everything that you can do to help yourself, you can do something to hurt you. For people who are working out, if you get out of bed early in the morning and go work out and you just get it out the way, hey, it's done. It's over. Wake up at 6, over by 7:30. But hey, you know what? I'd rather get that extra hour and a half worth sleep and I'll be okay with it. So instead of 8 hours of sleep, I got 9.5 hours of sleep. So again, it's a choice. So when you go back to the purpose, let's see here, just had it. When you look at fear, I did a training about fear, and action is the one thing that fear can't stand. It's the one thing that fear cannot stand in the same place with. So the more and more action you take, guys, the less and less fear of it you'll have. That's why I said when you use the PS5, the people who use the PS5 all the time, they become the most prolific enrollers of investors. And when you're using it all the time, it means that you're having the PS5 conversation with people all the time, which means that you obviously have people who you can go back and follow up with, whether you did a good presentation or a bad presentation, right? You have somebody who you said, hey, this is what I'm doing. I just sent you a text message. They don't get started, that's fine, but that person is now in your pipeline. Whether you did it good or whether you did it bad, they're still in your pipeline. This is where you get a chance to go back and follow up and apologize if you did it bad. So you know what, I sent this information to you all wrong, or you know what, I told you this information all wrong, but let me make some things right for you real quick. Okay. I'm sorry, follow up. But I go back to that action. Yeah, there's a great philosopher. His name was Lil Wayne out of Louisiana, Lil Wayne. He said, when you look at activity, activity is the father of learning. So when you look at, activity, guys, going out there and not trying to be perfect, just going out there and be prepared. Okay. Prepared will get you to excellence. Nothing will ever get you to perfection. Okay. And so just go out there being prepared to be a professional and knowing what that PS5 is got you saying, the script has got you saying, do it over and over and over again. And now you'll lose the script and you'll be able to have a conversation organically, naturally. It flows off of you. Example, Lakeland Williams, right? Lakeland has, that's where you guys get all the bullet points and screenshots and stuff from all the stuff that's happening in the crypto industry. Well, his whole entire conversation has changed, has evolved, is next level based on how much he talks about the blockchain. As you guys will be amazed, like listening to him now, but versus the interview I did with him, probably about 2 months ago, something like that. Listening to him now, he's different. Listening to him now, you believe that he was the person that actually created the company SCF, based on his understanding, the dynamics of it all, FinPay, all the new stuff that's come out. You can't shake his boat. You can't shake his tree. All the brand new people, he's bringing in brand new people off the streets that he's never met before. Like these are brand new people he's coming in because now he has that confidence. He would never do that before. He's more of an introvert than anything. Just like Angel was more of an introvert. We kind of break people out of introvert shells once they figure out that this stuff works and they get in here and they start doing their thing. Yeah, that you become an extrovert and you get to making a lot of money. So repetition, guys. Do that PS5 over and over and over and over and over and over and over again while you're learning and the new stuff that you're hearing in the presentations and the new release stuff that we're bringing out and introducing to you guys that you guys can use as conversation pieces as well. All right. So, but action kills fear and creates confidence. Every time you do something over and over and over again, fear goes away. All right. And so let's see here. We got Evans Paganye.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you so much for the platform. And I'm so excited. I was just smiling to myself here. I'm just listening to all the conversations. And it's so amazing. I'm so fired up because I draw energy from the whole system. And that's what I want to share about, because this week, the system, the family has, brought so much energy to myself and the whole team, even here locally. When we had the whole family come into our event, and people saw the energy brought forward, and after the presentation, they were asking me, "Wow, I mean, SCF is now all over the world." They just thought it was something we were just talking about locally, but now because of that, they saw the energy and the family. So that was fantastic. And again, also on social media, I follow every single person that you bring to the platform. I make sure I follow them and, pick something from them. I pick something from Mr. Forrest, from Mr. Lakeland, and I use that for my social media campaigns. And this week, I actually signed up 2 people just from those social media campaigns. So the system, the family is just amazing. And then from the calls, I think it was yesterday's call, where I think yesterday or Thursday. So one thing that was said is for you to be a great salesperson, one, you have to be money motivated. You can't say you want to be a great salesperson and you don't want to make a lot of money. So that really hit me because sometimes you're like, wow, making $1,000 a day. I have now to, so I want to make $1,000 a day. I want to make $2,000 a day. I'm motivated to make money. I want to make that money. So that was really powerful. And then be a self-starter. Yeah, those are the traits of a successful person. Be money motivated, be a self-starter. So thank you so much for the platform, Mr. B.
No problem. And guys, you talking about a walking, living, breathing billboard of the system. That's Evans, the person who's on the other side of the world and Africa over in Kenya. And again, all I've heard was that everybody who was on his presentations that day, and by the way, you guys did a great job of support. He said all of his prospects that were on there were pretty impressed based on the diversity of the call, how many of you guys were on from different countries. So you guys showed up and showed out. And he does that, call I can't say every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right. And so again, he's out there rocking, and doing the presentation. So, but people are always saying, I hear everything, the millionaire mindset in Evans. I hear, GCU in Evans. It's like they hear Crash Camp in Evans. It's like they hear the evolution in him. They've seen him grow. They watched him. They hear everything that he's learning coming out of his pores when he's speaking. And so that's very, very important. But the family energy showed up and showed out. And so that was huge. But you have to be money motivated. Now that's a mouthful right there, because you have some people who they have a negative emotion toward money, as if money was a living thing, right? Again, money only makes you more of who you are, right? There's no need to be scared of money, right? You don't worship money, right? But you still have to be money motivated. And for those of you who say you're not money motivated, you're motivated to make enough money to keep your lights on. You're motivated to make enough money to keep the roof over your head. So again, don't be a hypocrite. Don't try to take it and spin it. Okay? You're either money motivated or you're not. Right? And so if you're going to be successful, you have to be ambitious, which takes money motivation to another level. Right? You can't be a small thinker and make a 6-figure a month return. The people who are money motivated, people who are ambitious, those people go out there, and those are the people who will stretch themselves more than anybody. Those will be the people who show up for the system, and you don't have to remind them. Okay, you know who's money motivated and who's not in your portfolio based on their activity and their productivity. Inactivity, again, is still an activity, and it's a sign, right? And so, but that's the word. You have to have a financial goal to hit that. And that's why in presentations, the first thing people are always asked, especially back in network marketing, well, how do I help my people get to $1,000 a month? How do I help my people get to $500 a month? How do I help my people get to $10,000 a month? And they always want a blueprint on how to get to a certain amount of money for their people, because that person understands, right? That person understands. So if you have a job, guys, if you have a job and you want to get rid of your job, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you want to retire early, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you want to send your kids to college, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you want to take more vacations, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you want to diversify and have more investments, put a 1 in the chat for me. Because all those things I mentioned require money. Okay, all 100% of it requires money. Okay, and so that's the thing. You're not going to be able to dodge it. So get comfortable with it. Some of you are not comfortable with money because, again, the philosophies that you have that surrounds money, that you were raised with or that you adopted, because of people who you grew up around or people who you listen to as mentors and coaches. But again, you might want to find out, read some books like How to Increase Your Economic IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. Read some books on money. The Richest Man in Babylon. Listen to that. That's a good listen or a good read. Start listening to things that talk about money in a real way, because that way you can actually have an opportunity to develop a different relationship with money. Because some of us have toxic relationships with money. That's why as soon as you get it, you do what? You get rid of it. You find a way to blow it. You self-sabotage. You don't believe that you deserve it. Some of you don't believe that you deserve a 7-figure income. That's why you want to do 7-figure activity. You know exactly what to do, but you refuse to do it because of self-sabotage. Masquerading it as, ego, or masquerading it as a know-it-all, or masquerading it as, just different things. But it's self-sabotage nonetheless. Right? And we talked about systems. Like I said, a person who's not following the system is not a person that I'm going to work with, because that person is not serious about making money. They're not. You can make money on accident without me. You can do that without leadership. You don't need me to get lucky, or you don't need me to get a 1.4% return. Okay. You need me when it comes to building a 7-figure portfolio. That's why this is the thing, and a lot of you guys know this who've known me for a while, new people don't know this about me. But what I'll do is I'll give people some suggestions on what they should do when it comes to business. And I'll just sit back and follow if they follow my suggestions or not. And if they don't follow my suggestions, that means that they don't respect my information. So if they don't respect my information, I stop giving it to that person and I deny access. A lot of you guys are giving your priceless resources to people who are immature, right? And who are not, again, emotionally sophisticated enough to take your information, process it, and then turn around and utilize it. Okay, so when you find people who won't take your coaching, won't take your mentorship, won't take your advice, stop giving it to them. Remember, there's no shortage of mentors out there. There's a shortage of people who understand the value of mentors and coaches. Okay, that's what a shortage is. There's always lessons to be learned. Okay, there's just not enough people out there who appreciate, the person who's delivering the message. So give people tests. Like you give people, if you give a person, we're gonna talk tomorrow, and tomorrow I want you to have a list of 100 names. And if that person comes back and say, hey, look, I didn't get a chance to do it because you already know that person's not ready to make millions of dollars. Okay. They want to make some money. They're just not ready to make the big money. Hey, look, I strongly suggest, based on that you become a part of GCU, because this is going to help you. The only thing you're missing is the skill set. Okay. and a person's hemming and hawing about GCU, or you got to remind them that person's not ready. Right? Millionaires don't, they just sit back and they watch. Billionaires, they just sit back and watch. Okay. And they give you information. And if you take it, they give you more. They give you more access. If you don't, they take it all away. They don't take it away incrementally. Right? They take it all away right away, and then they block you out. They counsel you. Okay. And so you guys got to have that. So when you adopt that mentality, again, people will stop playing with you. When you adopt that mentality, people will now start treating you a little bit differently, as if you are an authority, as opposed to somebody who's trying to pitch them something. Your posture will go up. Your confidence level will go up, because you know who you are, and you know what you have your hands on, and you know you don't need any particular person. You just need people who understand. Okay. So that's how moguls behave. Okay. That's how moguls behave. You might want to write that down in your journals or something, but that's something you got to understand. And you got to wake up with the mind of a mogul every morning. That mindset is important. Don't wake up with the employee mindset, wake up with the mogul mindset, and ask yourself, what would a mogul do at this moment? What would a mogul's day look like? Right. And I can just tell you, if you're doing that, what you'll see in a stark contrast of people who are unsuccessful, you'll see them do the exact opposite. Let people expose themselves to you. You don't have to ever call them out. Let them call themselves out. It's easier that way, because when they see it, they see that they're messed up, cost themselves money, and they now lost access. What happens is, when they get a chance to see you helping other people who are making a lot of money, and they try to come back, they can't come back unless it's on your terms. Okay, so that's some good stuff, man. I'll tell you. So again, money motivated guys. That's again a whole other topic. So let's see here. We got 3 more left. All
Mr.
right.
Bean, Mr. Bean.
Yep, that's Jeremy.
No, this is Forrest. Just really quick. It looks like we might not be streaming into Facebook, so we might have to upload the recording into Facebook afterwards. I don't know if that's just dropped off or something, but I just noticed that. So I apologize, guys. We're not streaming onto Facebook right now, it looks like.
It was on earlier. Let's see here. Let me see something here.
Mr. B, it's only on for about 3 minutes,
Really?
and then it's dropped ever since the beginning.
Wow. Okay. All right. No bueno. No bueno. No bueno. It's good stuff. Okay. At least I get, like I said, I appreciate that for us. And Omi actually has the YouTube live going, so that's going to be dropped at some point in time, and so we'll probably just go ahead and drop that in here once that's done as a replay. So let's go ahead back over here. Let's see here. Okay. At least let people know we're on right now. Okay, so all right, guys. So that was that. But yeah, be a self-starter, be money motivated, increase your level of ambition, right, and accountability. All right, Jeremy, you're next.
How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
So first, I wanted to thank you for calling me about a month ago and reaching out to me. I know I was having issues with getting people on and everything, and you suggested me get on GCU, and it's been fabulous. I love it. But I just wanted to kind of give you an update. So when I talked to you that day, I had 1 person in. A month later, I have 13 people in now, and I'm signing up a person today. So it's going to be my 14th person. And it's just from, being on here and following the system and learning everything. But, I really appreciated the day that you called me. And I just want to kind of put that out there, that the system really does work when you follow the system. And as far as this next person, you were talking about the follow-ups. So, I've been following up with her once a week, sometimes twice a week. But what really got her to sign up today was, I said, hey, I just wanted to tell you something. I said, if you put $500 in right now, I said, and you let it go for a year and everything works the way it should, I said, you're going to be at $35,000. I said, I also wanted to tell you, if you withdraw off of that $35,000, you'd be making $15,000 a month. And it wasn't 2 minutes later, my phone rang. And then she's signing up today, and I should have her signed up here a couple hours. But I just wanted to say thank you, and I know we had talked about keeping you up to date, because and it's funny how you say stuff, and then I'm like, man, it's almost like he's talking straight to me. Because when you started talking about the sales things, at the beginning, and saying, somebody that thinks they know how to sell, and they think, I was that guy. Because when I do my lawn business and stuff, I can get people all day long. It is nothing. But when I got to this, it was like, man, what is going on? And it was because I wasn't following the system.
Yeah.
And
but go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I appreciate you reaching out to me that day, and I've learned so much just as in December, since Rich got me into this group and everything. I had absolutely no idea about pasting and sending and doing all this stuff. I had nothing, but I just kept on doing my research, learning everything that I can about everything, because I'm one of those people. Failure is not in my vocabulary.
Right.
If somebody tells me that something can't be done, I'll find a way to do it. I don't care what it is.
That's why you're successful, bro. Like I said, winners always find a way, and winners are always open for different ways. And so that says a lot about you guys. I mean, I'm just telling you, it really does. And it speaks volume, because you literally, the day I said jump on it, you basically enrolled with my wife right away. And do you remember, let me ask you a question, do you remember around about what time that was? A month ago, month and a half ago, 2 months ago? When was that?
I think it was like right around August 27th, because you gave me a few days. You said, here, jump on it. I'll give you a free for the month, rest of the month. And so, I got right on it the next day. So I think we talked on a Saturday, and on Monday I was on the sales call.
No, watch
because
this.
I remember texting. Yeah.
Watch this. So it's been a month, basically a month and 3 days. So a month and 3 days, had you not taken that advice I gave you, you would have only been making money on your money, which is fine. Right.
Yep.
But you got to think about now, based on you paid $150 one time for the month of September. Okay. But you've recruited 4 people that made you, obviously it's making you 15% per day on every one of those people's earnings. All right. But also you're one person away now from having the foundation for GM, which pays you $100 a day. Because once you get the 5th person and you get $50,000 in volume in that group, that's GM. So now you have a foundation, and you look at people like, man, that costs $150. No, it costs you a fortune not to pay the $150. Because when you think about it, do the math on how much money you've made from your team and then overrides since then, and then put that in the 1.4% calculator and see what that would have did. And so that's how you see the type of value, again, you really brought to the table with that 150, with that skill set that you got from the 150 investment in yourself. That's the return. Those 4 people, that's the return. The future people, that's the return on your investment. And so education is an investment, and people don't get that part, because this is not traditional education. This is not a college degree, where you can go and get a job after, if one is available for you, after you learn this stuff, right? And colleges. So here, again, you learn it, you go apply it, you use it, and it grows your portfolio, it grows your wallet. So I appreciate that. That follow-up, that was strong, bro. Like I said, they can keep on following up with people just like that. All right.
Thank
Donna,
you.
No problem. We got Donna.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here on a Saturday masterminding with all of you. And it really brings the entire week together. It helps us to reflect on everything. And my takeaway, I'll give you some words that have been said over and over again today: activity, the process, trust the process, action, repetition, system, go to work. all of those things. And that is what my takeaway is about. And just reminding ourselves sometimes that we are thinking, feeling beings. And as leaders and coaches and parents and teachers, we sometimes have to share that talk with ourselves. So our own self-talk is extremely important. If we had somebody on our team that was having a difficult day, that was coming up against a barrier, we would coach them, we would mentor them, we would help them, we would love on them. And it's really important to remember the days when we have to love on ourselves, because this week I had, in particular yesterday, a couple of family situations, and I was just defeated. I thought, okay, no, I'm done. Like I don't know what I need to do, but I don't need to be doing anything right now. And I reminded myself that if this was somebody on my team, what would I say to them? And there's a quote on my wall, and that's why today you've said so many different words, Mr. Bean, and everybody else, but I don't even know who to attribute this quote to. I should have written it down, but the discipline will still be there when the motivation leaves you. And I can tell you, I was not motivated, but I thought, no, I have to keep doing this, because then it goes hand in hand. And then when you continue to be disciplined, then you get motivated again, because we're human beings, and we're going to have days when we don't feel like doing things, but we just have to trust the process and follow the process and follow the system and go to work and take all of the action and repeat everything that we need. So that's my takeaway for this week. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And that's strong. And by the way, it's when you look at inspiration versus motivation, which is what it is when you look at motivation, right? Like right now, everybody who's here, and even the people who just joined us on Facebook in the last past 3 or 4 minutes, they're being motivated, right? And so this is the thing. You're here, you're getting energy, you're getting juice, you're getting your feedbacks, and you're part of something special, and you're ready to go out there and conquer the world, right? And then you get out there and you get your first no, and it eats away at that motivation, then you quit. You were definitely motivated. But when you actually are going out there and you're getting those no's, or you're getting those maybes or possibilities, whatever, and then more no's, but the same emotion that you had when you were actually motivated is gone. And you're void of that emotion, that excitement, that energy, that confidence. And now you're still inspired to move on, though, because you had a goal, you made a decision. And so when you have a goal, you make a decision, you have a goal and you're inspired. Let's start with the inspiration aspect of it. When you're inspired, it forces you to create discipline around it. Okay. The one doesn't come from before the other one. That's why when you make a decision and you're inspired, that's where the discipline comes from. It has to be, something has to turn on the discipline, something valuable. So whatever it was, that you were inspired about when you were in that same room or in that same place where all those powerful, positive people were, when you made that decision, long after that emotion has went away and you keep on going, that means you're inspired. That means that you've actually committed to do it void of the emotion, do it regardless of what goes right or what goes wrong, and you're going to do it based on principles, not situations, because you have a lot of situational people who fail. But I'll be successful if, only if I'll stay in if, or I'll put more money in if, or I'll talk to somebody if, and no, I'm period. I know I need 30 people. Mr. Bean said get 30 people, so I'm gonna go get 30 people, period. Ain't no if, right? This is what I'm gonna do because he said do this, I'm gonna do that, period, because it's principle based. If this is one thing that put me in a protective status, that protected me from myself. Some of us need to learn how to protect ourselves from ourselves. Okay, let's start there. Write that down, type that down. I have to learn how to protect me from me. Okay. And so for me, I told my mentor 20 plus years ago, in 2008, I know everything I need to know about real estate. I don't know anything about network marketing. You made millions and millionaires in this industry. I haven't made a dime. So I'm going to put my ego in the box, and I'm going to allow your brain to function on my behalf, basically. I'm going to take all the advice that you give me, and I'm going to do everything you say do, the way you say do it, to the best of my ability and some, twice over. And if I fail, it's your fault. Okay? But if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, that's my fault. So, but I'm using your thoughts going forward. That's how I became a millionaire and a creator of millionaires, because I allowed his thoughts in a environment that he's already created the results. He already has a resume. Why wouldn't I allow him to think for me? So I use that to protect myself from myself. I put my ego in a box, because all successful people have an ego, but there's a difference between a healthy ego and a unhealthy ego, right? I put my healthy ego in a box because I'm still a man, one, and two, I'm submitting to his results, not him as a man. So that's another thing I had to do to protect myself from myself. I had to make sure I understood that I put everything in perspective. I'm not submitting to him. I'm submitting to his resume. He has my answers, not my problems. He has the results that I desire, right? Not the lifestyle that I'm living. So I am finding ways of protecting myself from myself in these type of environments. So any suggestions, and all suggestions, if you ask my wife, I've taken them all, 100% of them, for the 18 years, almost 19 years. That's why my success is not an accident, it's on purpose. And I did it when I didn't want to do it, when I wasn't motivated to do it. I did it because it was a part of the process. And if I didn't, it was going to get me that much further away from the end result and my goals. So when you think about what's on the table, and we give you suggestions on what to do, you got to also understand that there are repercussions that come with you not following that. And you are the ones that pay for it. We don't. Because every mistake that you make in this type of a platform will cost you millions of dollars. Okay. So I appreciate that, Donna. That's good stuff, real good stuff. I appreciate that. Protect yourself from yourself. You just gave somebody a really good aha moment with your comments. All right. Leslie Johnson, Jacksonville, Florida's finest. Welcome to the call.
Great morning, Mr. Dean. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my reflection. Oh, wow, all this greatness, and my goodness, this gold mine is amazing. But anyway, my reflection was yesterday as I listened to Eddie, and but anyway, someone's talking about when I talk to someone about my product, I give them offer them my big claim. They said, well, I know. They said, I'm good. He said, when you tell them, I know you're good, let's make you great. Mm-hmm. So this is what you just said, from great, from good to great. So that's something I'm going to, that book, I'm going to get that book. Mm-hmm. But what really gave me an emotional flashback when he said, this is the end of the month. He said, don't close out. He said, close and don't close down. So in other words, your end of the month will determine your beginning of the month. Mm-hmm. That's all wow, man. That's another reminder. Yes. You always said that. Don't stop at the end of the month. Keep on going through. So I was able to get 2 appointments for today because I said, you know what? I'm going to get something on the book. I'm not going to shut down for September. I'm going through to October. Thank you, Mr. B.
Yeah, and you know what, guys, I appreciate that. And when I look at this is really becoming mastermind class today. It's like, man, we may get a role play in before we get out of here. We're gonna have Forrest and Laura probably do the PS4 for you, PS5 for you guys before we get out of here. But and we will, we'll have that done. But this is really, really strong. And when I look at what you're saying, first of all, we always work through the end of the month. We don't stop, because we're close and missed our goal, or we don't stop because the end of the month's over with and we hit our goal and now we got to sit back and relax and unwind and then get ready to start working again on the 10th of the next month. which is what human beings do, right? As that's what champions continue to keep it going, period, right? Because they never stop, they never slow down, they always work through. It's kind of like, I mean, if you ever seen a fight with Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe when they were fighting, and they were in the bell ring and they were still fighting, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you saw that fight, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe fighting, and every time the bell rung, they were still fighting. It was like a Donnybrook in there. It looked like it was 5 people fighting in there with 2 people. It was crazy. Think about what happens if you are one of those 2 guys. The bell rings, and because you're so programmed to when the bell rings, you just drop your hands, what happens? You get knocked out because the other one's still swinging. The winner is still fighting, right? The winner never quits. There is no off button for winners, right? So when you look at how you work your month, like every week should be a closeout week for you. This might be another nugget for you guys. Every week might be a closeout week for you. I would probably close out every Sunday, and just do all my upgrades on, like, have upgrade Sunday, right? Go back through the group, find out who in your portfolio who may be investors who may want to upgrade their investments. Okay, that may be one of the things you do at the end of every week. Okay, at the end of the week, you'll find out on Sundays who in your group has some activity, has some traction that they may be in, and has a solid interest, of going to GM, right? And make a note of that. And so the next week, you know who you're working with, right? Start closing out. Give yourself a goal every month, okay? But make sure you chop that month up in 4 weeks. And you got to know how much you have to actually drive volume, how much recruiting you have to do, or how much money you have to upgrade by to get through these goals, right? And so have a goal every week, close out every week, right? Because what happens is when you do it every week versus once a month, you coast all the way through the month for 3 weeks. And then you get serious at the end of the month for 7 days, right? To hit your goal. And then you're scrambling to hit your goal at the end of the month. And that's the hardest 7 days. You did more work in 7 days than you did the whole entire month. And if you're not even close to your goal, you're going to waste the whole entire month. So you're not even going to go and work the last 7 days. Okay. Again, remember I said, protect yourself from yourself. So this is a way that, again, you can protect yourself from yourself. When I was working with American Express, and we had quotas on, how much of the money we brought back into the house from people who had their Optima cards. They basically credit cards that had $100,000, $250,000, $500,000 limits and stuff like that. We literally will close out every week. Like the company closed out twice a month. I close out every week. I gave myself weekly goals. I was always in the top 5. Matter of fact, that's how I met my wife. They told her to come get notes from me. So if y'all want the story, that's the story. All right, that's the story. So yeah, so I was good at what I did though. I had a system, guys. I've always had a system. Always had a system. And my system was she couldn't look at my notes unless she agreed to go out on a date with me. I don't doubt. Hey, I've been here for years. 2 years. It took me 2 years to put this together. You can't get my system because you're cute. We're gonna go get something to eat. We're gonna have a conversation. I gotta find out who I'm giving these notes to. You know what I'm saying, Mike? I gotta find out who I'm giving these notes to. So, but that's the thing. I closed out my whole, and then to the point where I went into management, my team, we did the same exact thing. We got the best paper. They started rewarding us with the best paper. It wasn't the people who they couldn't find no more. There's people, we had good phone numbers on people. We had good company numbers on people. They were giving us the bigger balances now because they saw how we moved, and we wouldn't teach anybody our system. We wouldn't teach anybody our system because that's a job. In that environment, you don't teach people to replace you. I'm not teaching you to replace me. If you want my job, come take it. You want my paper, come take it. I took it. Come take it from me. That's your job. Your job is not to collect the paper. Your job is to figure out how you can outperform me so you can get what I have that you value. Right? So it's the same thing here, guys. Learn how to work in groups of weeks. Learn how to put yourself in a position where you're motivated to get enough done in a week. Some of you guys have, I'm gonna put 5 people in in a month? What if you put 5 people in a week? And you gave yourself a goal of at least 20 people a week to show the presentation to, or 20 people a week to show your screenshots to. Imagine if you actually found 20 different people every week just to send a screenshot to. That's 80 people that you touched in 1 month that you would not have touched probably in 3 to 6 months. But because you put a week on it, and it's, remember, presentation, you know, I'm not saying presentation, I'm just saying 20 people a week that are new who have a screenshot from what you just earned per day. Anybody think that that would actually have an impact on your business? Guys, it's something just that simple. Something that, hey, if you think that'll put a, like Tim said, I'm gonna put a 1 in even before you ask. You know what I'm tell you? Hey, Tim, you felt it, huh, Tim? Because if you feel like that in itself would actually help you make more money, put a 1 in. Tim put the 1 in. So that, guys, just something that's, because remember, you wasn't exposing the business to 20 people per week already. Some of you guys, if you were lucky, you made time for 20 people per month. And when I say made time, when you got around to calling somebody or sending somebody a text message or making a phone call because you just so happen not to be busy, right? That's how you become unsuccessful. When you have goals, weekly goals, right? Like Jim Rohn, the late great, I love this guy, Jim Rohn, how he said, when do you start your week? When it's finished, okay? Meaning that once you actually finish your week, there you go, Dale. Once you finish that week on paper, right? Once you have it mapped out, once you have your goals, once you have your priorities, once you have your principle-based activities, right? Then you go to work on it when the week starts. That's when you start your week after it's finished. It's only finished on paper first before you put in action. But again, most of y'all don't have weekly goals. A lot of y'all don't have monthly goals. What happens if you had weekly goals though? And the only thing you had as a goal and say, you know, I'm just gonna go off on them, I'm just gonna do something exotic. I'm not doing any presentations. I'm just going to make sure 20 brand new people a week see my screenshot. What happens? You don't care about who gets started. All you care about is the 20 people per week. See, if you take the fear of saying, you know what, hey, Jacques, I sent Jacques a screenshot, Jacques didn't get signed up, I'm ruined. No. What Jacques does, you know, positive or negative, you know, saying once I send him the screenshot is his business, not mine. My only job in this scenario is to send him the screenshot. That's my only job, right? And so once he's got it, he's looked at it, I explained what it was, job is done. If he gets started, that's a perk and a benefit. If he doesn't, there's no sweat off my back, I got the practice, right? But there's number 2, number 3, number 10, number 15, 17, 19, and number 20 before the week is over. And now, think about it for a second. That's 80 people, guys. That's 80 people per month times 12 months. That's a lot of people. Some of you will be recycling people. You don't even have that many people in there. But if you just went there, you were willing to do that much, a lot of your businesses will change because you would have so many people calling you saying, hey, tell me more about this. Then you would have to, do some 3-ways, which means that when you get on a 3-way phone call with your leader, you get to learn. Because when they ask those questions and we get to answering those questions, you get to listening and recording and learning and regurgitating, right? Hate to use that word. It's the only thing off the top of my head, that's my network marketing head kicked in after years. So, but that's what you get to do. See, people who have the activity, who can get people, like we call them sometimes bush shakers, people who can go shake the bushes. You don't have to know what you're doing. You just have to take an activity that we give you to do. Like I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be 20 people. We can be 10, it could be 30, whatever your number is. But you do that one activity and people start calling you back, say, hey, hold on. And then click back on while you got Miss Laura on the phone. Click back on, you got Angel Trina on the phone. Click back on, you got one of your leaders on the line, you know, saying, hey, Earl, hey, Earl, I got this guy, you know, I got Jacques on the line. Jacques is X, Y, and Z. And I want to introduce you to him. He don't know I'm introducing you to him, you know, yet, but I'm gonna click back on introduce you. And I click back on and say, hey, Jacques, I know you had a question. I'm glad you had a question, and I respect you enough not to give you a bad answer. I don't believe in coaching a lie or answering a lie. So what I did was I brought an expert on the line, somebody who's going to be here to answer the question only. They're not here to sell you anything. They're just here to answer your question. And I'm glad that I was able to get him because he's very, very busy. You know, I have Mr. Earl LaSalle, or I have my other, I got my man Earl Beckett, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter which Earl it is, it's the Duke of Earl, both of them winners. So but he's here just to answer your question, not to twist your arm or anything like that. But what was your question that you have for Mr. Beckett? And as easy as that. As easy as that. You know, like, what happens is when you ask for a three-way, guys, you ask for it wrong. You ask for it by asking for it. That's the worst thing you can do is ask for it. Hey, Mike, you mind talking to one of my leaders? No, Mike's like, I don't want to talk to you, leader. I don't know you, leader. I don't want to talk to your closer. Nope, don't want to do it. And so now you click, he gonna click too. Mike gone. As soon as you click over, he know what's happening now. He's in the wind, like Forrest said. Dial tone. So again, say, hey, hold on for a minute. And then you make that, because you've already told Dr. Marika, hey, Dr. Marika, I got a guy I'm going to be following up with. I'm going to do some follow-ups between this hour at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time and 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Can you be available to do some three-ways for me? Block out your three-way times. That's another thing. And so don't just always randomly pop up, on one of your leaders, and say, hey, you just call them because I got this guy or I got this gal, just talk to them. They're excited. Can you talk to them? And that person may not be in a position to do it for you. Okay? Or they may not answer the phone at all because they weren't expecting it and they may be busy. So if you're going to do the work and you're going to go out here and talk to a lot of people, ask for, I'd say, hey, can you give me 30 minutes of your time to do some follow-ups? I have, a window that I can do some follow-ups with you because I have a ton of people I'm following up with at 1 o'clock or at 3 o'clock or at 8 o'clock. Can you be available for me at 8 o'clock for at least 30 minutes so I can do some three-way? Sure. And you just smile and dial. Get on the phone. Hey, what'd you like best about what you saw? Oh, Donna says, well, you know what? I like the fact that, the 1.4% return is amazing. Plus I believe the blockchain is the future. Yeah, I believe in you guys, but I know when she says, but he said, hold on 1 second, Donna. Hold on 1 second. Get on the phone. Hey, Miss Tran, I got Donna on the line. And I don't want to blow this, and I'm glad you gave me this time for three ways. This is what she liked best about what she saw, and she's about to have a question. And so I'm going to bring you on right now and introduce you. And that's when you get back on. And I say, hey, Donna, I know you was about to have a question, and so I'm new. So I'm not going to be able to answer that question to the best of my ability, which will cheat you. So I have my expert Angel Tran on. Miss Tran is going to answer your question. And that's the only reason she's here. She's not here to convince you anything, but we just want to make sure we get your questions answered. Miss Tran, this is Donna. Donna, this is Mrs. Tran. Okay. And so that's how you do a effective. Okay. Because I'm still respecting both of them. And I'm also putting Donna in a space where she don't have to worry about somebody's convince her a closer. And her only job here, Donna, is to, right? Get good at saying that, guys, because that's how you disarm people. And it's not manipulation. You're not doing it to manipulate anybody, but if their wall is up, you can't get anything over it or through it. You can't get any common sense on the other side. You can't get any education on the other side. That person will not be able to make a buying decision if you personally, okay, help them with that. So, hey, she's only here to answer a question because I'm new. So, Donna, what question did you have for Ms. Tran? And I put myself on mute. And that's what you do. Three ways, guys, the people who make the most money and who have the most secure and stable and scaling groups are the people who do the most three ways. Okay? The people who, again, you do everything on your own, your groups don't grow. Because your people who talk to you, though they may love you as a human being, they think it's only you. They think it's about you. all you see, the business is as big as you, because that's the only person they've been introduced to. When they get on here, they see 29 people here on Zoom. Then they get on Facebook, they say, oh, they also have about 100 people on Facebook, right? And so when you look at, oh, this thing is really big, this thing is growing. And then when they get on, they see some of these huge events, they say, oh, this thing is really big. Then when they start seeing the write-ups, they realize, man, how huge this thing really is. You got to get people to communicate and interact with people besides yourself, so they know that they have more people out there to help them, teach them, grow them, support them. It's bigger than you guys. So do your 3 ways so you can help. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it for the person who you're bringing into the business as well. Okay, and when you do 3 ways, guys, also, they know you respect your senior partners. And this is what I would put everything on my senior partner. 100%, everything. Even if it was my idea, if we had the same philosophy and I heard him say it before, hey, this is what my senior partner say. I'm gonna give my senior partner the credit because I know you respect my senior partner more than you respect me. Human nature. Because we're friends, we're close, or you feel like we make the same amount of money, or you make more money than me. So you're not going to ever respect me in a manner that's going to help you. It's going to hurt you, not me. That's how, again, that's why people need personal development. People don't understand these little bitty nuances, the things that cost them a fortune, right? 3 ways and lifelines have made me a fortune. Anytime and every time I've been on 3 ways and lifelines, every chance I had, I went and bought an iPod. This is back in the day when you can record on the iPods, and you put the little mic on top. I know some of y'all don't remember that, but the little black mic on top, record. Every time I did a 3-way, I put my phone on mute, put it on speaker, and set that speaker right there by it, set the recorder right there by that speaker. And I would listen to how my leaders addressed the questions, how they gave the answers, how calm, cool, and collected they were, how they behaved, when they laughed, when they joked. I studied them. Okay? And so when you look at those 3 ways, again, you're learning. This is not just about closing. This is also closing you. Because the more 3 ways a lot of y'all do, the more y'all learn about what y'all have your hands on, because quite frankly, y'all won't go learn enough to be dangerous. Right. It's not a lot of y'all don't go and study blockchain after you're studying the blockchain as being on presentation sometime, or watching the things that we put in Telegram. Again, you make a fortune. You have the ability to make a fortune if you knew more, and tie that with skill and support system ecosystem. So it's good stuff. Man, you guys are Leslie giving us stuff to talk about. Okay. So work through the month. All that came from work through the month, man. I tell you, this is good stuff. We have one more left here before we bring in the ringers. Miss Iris. And then after Miss Iris, we'll bring Forrest and Miss Laura on and let them do the PS4 for you guys. All right, Miss Iris.
Well, good morning, and good morning, everyone, and good morning to you, Mr. Bean. And the only reason I wanted to say something was because I just want you to know is that the no's that I get, the no phone calls, that has not disturbed how the energy or just my enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. And because of the fact that I do have a goal. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, well, see me at Thanksgiving. I show my screenshot. They say, well, let me see it at Thanksgiving. And it's like, I'm out. A lot of people I have talked to and showed everything to, it's like, and they've been on the presentations. They've seen the presentations. Matter of fact, somebody saw the presentation. She said, well, I want to give this amount of money. She said, but I want my son to look at it just to make sure it's not a scam. Mm-hmm. And stuff. I said, well, okay, no problem. So what I did, I put her on hold and I contacted Arlene. Matter of fact, Arlene is a bomb mentor. Dr. Arlene, she's a bomb mentor. But at the same time, she get the white pages. Sarah helped me get the white pages and I sent that to her. And, and so she's looking at it. And then I have a lot of people that say, well, okay, I'm getting my money back. I'm getting my money together and I'll get you next week. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that does not stop. you know, because of the fact that, you know, quitting is not my portion. Failure is not my portion. Though I have my hands, though I have so many different things going on right now. I do have a job, and I would like to, and I am going to retire, you know, retire from it. And I do have, you know, the other leaderships, and I follow John Maxwell. I've been in all leadership conferences and things like with John Maxwell, but sales was not mine. And I admit that I was not a seller, you know, somebody that could sell. But at the same time, I'm still willing to learn. You know, John Cardone, I'm sitting in there, even though I work, I hear it going on. You know, I'm plugged into, you know, all the sessions, all the different conferences that you all have every day, getting nuggets, getting this, you know, because I know this is what it is. And I was in a meeting last night. Matter of fact, it was a prayer meeting, and they were talking, and at the end, they started talking about, you know, because the government shut down and things that happened out. And I'm sitting there, I was like, but I just told y'all to get in this program, but y'all want to watch me, you know? So watch me. Watch my screenshots.
Think about this for a second. People don't move until they have to. Okay. People are reactionary creatures. Okay. And so when you look at, you know, I'll give you an example, like when you, because I know how to be broke. I've been broke before, right? And so I know I do broke things, and I know what happens, and, you know, different triggers when you're broke. And so when you look at losing your house, because I was in foreclosure at one point in time, and I almost lost my house. But you get that white bill, that white slip means you're current. When it starts changing colors, you know what I'm saying? It's a yellow one, it's a green one, and there's a red one. Yeah, the red one is it. That's a problem. At that point in time, you get the red one, it's almost done, if not done. And you might have a slight window with that red, right? And so that's when you go and sell everything to keep something. It's the same thing with human beings. Human beings are reactionary. Like again, the ants and grasshoppers, ants built for the winter, grasshoppers didn't. You're dealing with a lot of grasshoppers, a lot of unprepared people. Human beings by nature, right? Remember, this is the thing you got to communicate to yourself. Everybody that I, talk to is either a part of the 97 percenters or used to be. Okay, so I don't let people disappoint me, but I don't have an emotion at all with no's. Like they don't even register to me like on any level whatsoever. And because I'll find out why you told me no. I used to ask people, no, you know what, Iris, and I appreciate your no, and your no is going to help me. And I need you to tell me why you told me no so I can be better the next time for the next person. And so I embrace that no. That no is my fault. And that for me, I embrace everything as my fault, because if I was better, I would get more yeses than no's. And if I got a no, I need to know why. 100% of the time, right? And so I want you guys, again, no is just like yes. It's just another word, right? No, it's just like I love you. It's just one word versus three. It has nothing to do with your success or failure. It's what you do with the no's, and the fact that you should expect no's, and the fact that you should expect that you're talking to 97 percenters who are not going to get it because they've been conditioned for 9 to 5s. They've been conditioned for $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $250,000 a year, salaries, incomes, and things like that. I never really expect anybody to get anything, regardless of how much sense it makes. Because remember, when your brain, if you're making $3,000, I want to share something with you guys. When you make $5,000 a month, and somebody says you can make $5,000 a day, your brain goes error, does not compute, right? And you can give them it's full transparency on the blockchain. You can show them how it's being done. You can show them, how many millions of dollars that we've already generated on fees on something that we just launched a matter of days ago called FinPay. You can show them how much money we have in liquidity based on how many people are investing, and the fact that they're paying 1.4% every day to people who have invested and staked and they're taking their money out every day. Nobody's ever missed any money. That says a lot, but that's, again, you're talking about conditioning versus fact. Even in the face of facts, you have conditioning. Your brain, your subconscious mind says that anything back here that's stored back here, that we've locked back here, that you've grown as a condition, overrides everything I see. Everything, right? And so, again, that's the same subconscious mind that runs your heart, that runs your kidneys, that runs your breathing, everything, every function in your brain and your body is run by that part of the brain. You don't know how it works, but it's working. So you don't know how to undo it, right? So you got to understand this is a process that when I'm talking to people, I expect them not to have any understanding of the blockchain. I expect them not to have any semblance of what 1.4% a day means. I respect them. I respect the fact that they don't believe that 1.4% a day exists. That's great. I know what to expect. So if I know what to expect, and I know this is what I'm walking into, and I'm going to say 100% of the time, even though it's not 100% of the time, I am prepared. That's why all the Grant Cardone's people are prepared, because they know for a fact people are not. Everybody they call, they already know that this person is not prepared for what I'm about to release to them. They're not ready for this price point. They're not ready for this package. They're not ready for this down payment. They're not ready for this monthly payment. They're not ready for any of this, but I have to be prepared to make sure I can help them make a buying decision. So I'm always thinking from that perspective. So I'm on that person's side of the table, which is the same side of the table I used to sit on. And I remember how hard it was for people to convince me. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite in this situation. I'm going to be an understanding individual that's ready to go out here and make sure that I get all of your answers and concerns addressed. And that's my, you know what, I expected you to say no, Iris. And you know what? I expected you to say no because I know you've never had any blockchain experience. Iris, I expected you to say no because I know for a fact you've never even had a crypto wallet. Iris, I know for a fact that you were going to say no because, you know, in the government right now, the same government that's not paying y'all, they're only paying you $60,000 a year. All right. So for me to tell you about my people who are making $60,000 a month, you're not supposed to believe me immediately. I need to show you some things. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being yes. I'm just happy that you told me why. There's nothing wrong with saying no. I'm just happy that you told me why. Now I can actually help you. Because I'm bringing it back to you. I'm helping you by having this conversation with you because I'm already in. That's before I was making $3,500 a day in the staking part, I was already making $3,500 a day when I was at $100 a day. I'm already in. I'm already getting paid. I'm already pulling out. That's where my confidence comes from. Okay. So all of y'all have that same power, but you just got to understand who you're dealing with, who your audience is, whether they're rich or whether they need money, right? They all still are embracing something that's brand new that people, or quite frankly, are being forced to embrace because, again, the rest of the world is being forced to catch up. Banks are being forced to catch up. Governments are being forced to catch up. So you way behind, and we get it. If the governments are not up on par with this, and the bank's not on par with this, why should I expect you to be? Have that understanding when you don't talk to people and talk down on people, guys, because you understand it now, finally, right? Stay humble with the situation, okay? Stay humble, and the more humble you are and understanding you are, the more helpful you can be to a person, and that person will join you at that point in time because they know you get it. Okay? And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I appreciate you, Iris. Thank you for jumping on and bringing that energy. I want to bring Forrest on. I want to bring Laura on. I want to have them do the PS4 real quick, guys. This is very, very important. And this is the thing that we understand that if a person has a script, that's what the PS5 is. If you have a script that tells you what to say, basically, and that at some point in time, there's a starting point and a stop point. Once you master that conversation by having that conversation over and over and over again, guys, what you'll find is this. You'll become great at it. You'll evolve. You'll learn from it every time. And next thing you know, you won't even need it because the script was actually prepared for people who don't know how to actually have effective conversations. So we're showing you that we're working with you, and so we're going to help you have it. So again, go to the Foresight-MG.com, download the PS5 if you don't have it already, and you'll be able to follow with Forrest and Laura while they're doing it, and then we'll come back. I'll come back with you guys. So Forrest, Laura's all yours.
Okay, hit me, Forrest.
Good morning. Good morning. Let me
Good morning.
pull my PS5 over here so I can look right at the camera while I'm reading it. And I'm basically going to go through it. I put a link both on Facebook and in the Zoom chat so you guys can sort of follow along. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Laura, this is Forrest. Good morning.
Good morning, Forrest. How are you?
I'm absolutely great. Thanks for asking. Hey, check this out. I need about 3 minutes. Are you good with that?
Yeah, sure, Forrest. What's going on?
Awesome. I'm about to send you something. Zoop. Check your phone real quick. Did you get it?
Yeah, what is this?
This is a screenshot of my daily returns from my most recent investment account. They're paying 1.4% daily on our investment capital, and it doubles every 60 to 70 days. If you take a look, you can see my total investment beneath and the daily 1.4% return that I've been receiving. You see that?
1.4% every single day, Forrest. That seems a little bit unbelievable.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. When I first heard about it, I was a little bit blown away myself. Look at this. I just sent you something else. Zoop.
Okay, so now what is this?
This is just a screenshot of my daily returns that I'm earning because I'm also part of this portfolio. I'm sharing it with other people just like you. And I just wanted to show you that because this is something that's real. I withdraw a stake in to help others fund their accounts. Now do you see why I'm so excited?
Yeah. I mean, if you can really make this kind of money, that's exciting. So how does it work?
Well, it's pretty easy. What I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Laura, if you had to, how fast do you think you could put your hands on $10,000?
I had to. Probably about 2 weeks, Forrest.
Absolutely awesome. Not a problem at all. Let me show you why I asked you that question. I just sent you a link. It's to the calculatorsite.com. Did you get it?
Yeah, I opened it.
And as you can see, that link, if you click on this, I'm gonna shoot you a Zoom real quick. We can jump on this. But basically in the calculator, if you take that $10,000 at the 1.4%, it's going to generate you $1,400 every 10 days, or basically $140 a day. The reason I wanted to show you this is because you said that you could come up with $10,000 in about 2 weeks. Just out of curiosity, Laura, with that kind of money and that kind of return, as you can see, that money is going to double in about 60 days, and it just grows and grows and grows from there. With the $10,000, what kind of money would you want to have, say, 12 months from now, and what would you do with it?
Well, you know, I have this goal of funding my grandson's college education, and so you know, I need about $300,000 for that, but I don't think I'll be able to get that in 12 months. But that's my goal. That's what I'm working towards.
That's absolutely awesome. And it's funny that everybody says that. It's like, how am I going to come up with this money? Being able to fund, have a college fund, pay off a house, get out of debt. And the cool thing about this is when we lock your money in at the 1.4%, it works and works and works and works. So what I'd like to do next is we got two options. Do you have about 40 minutes right now?
Not right now, Forrest. I don't have 40 minutes right now.
What about later today, or maybe earlier tomorrow?
Well, later on this evening, I'm getting ready to leave the house now, but I should be back around 6:30.
Perfect. So not a problem at all. The reason I ask about today is we've actually got a presentation today at noon that goes into the deep dive details of exactly how this process works. That's going to be at noon Central Standard Time today. I would, and just out of just what I'm saying is if that $300,000 is really, really important to you, you might want to move this to the top of your calendar to jump in and see how quickly you can put this program to work for you, and then maybe reschedule that other stuff for a little bit later this afternoon. Do you think you would be available to do that today at noontime?
Well, yeah. Well, but now, how long is this presentation going to last for us?
It's typically about 35 to 40 minutes. And what you're talking about is earning $300,000. Do you think spending 35 to 40 minutes to see how you can put $300,000 together in the next 12 months would be worth it?
Yeah, sure. It would
Perfect,
definitely
perfect.
be worth it.
Absolutely. Well, let's do that then. Let's schedule time to jump on this noon call. And here's the deal, Laura. If 15 minutes into that call, you just say, this isn't for me, this isn't going to work for me, I'm not into this, I'm not digging this, just hang up on the call, send me a message and say, Forrest, you're crazy, I'm not doing this, and I promise I'll never bother you again. However, I guarantee you 15 minutes into that call, you're going to be scrambling to come up with that $10,000 sooner than 2 weeks from now. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to go ahead and send you the invite link here to the noon call. We'll jump on that together. And just Laura, just out of curiosity, is there, just to confirm, is there any reason at all that you wouldn't be able to make that noon call?
Well, no, I'm going to move some things around because, $300,000 in a year is very tempting. So I'm going to move some things around. I'll be on there.
Perfect. Well, I will see you at noon for that presentation. In the meantime, if any questions come to mind, just write those down and we'll address those right after the call. We'll do a follow-up right afterwards to get everything addressed for you. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Perfect. I will see you at noon.
Okay, great.
Awesome. There you go, guys. That's what you call a clinic. Okay. And so again, you have two people who take real pride in their craft. And these are two people who you see their portfolios. And by the way, for us, you got a brand new GM this week, right? A couple days ago, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, there's some 4 or 5s for us, brand new GM. Again, he's not just, taking it to build his own personal, income portfolio. Now he's building his team's portfolio, using his skill set to do this. And guys, he's great at it. And so is Laura. Laura is a sneeze away from GM. And so again, but you can see her portfolio growing. Again, you look at these calls every week. She don't just have a lot of people on Facebook watching Grant Cardone on Saturday. She's got a lot of people in the modules. She's got a lot of people actually in the program. And that's why, again, her growth is happening so fast and organically at that. She's not buying a rank. They're actually building it the proper way. And it's going to be solid and sustainable and scalable because, again, once you scale a person's a skill set, that person can earn a lot. But once you scale everybody's skill set, that's when you have lifestyle and stability. Okay. And so also the thing I learned about this as we wrap this thing up is that when you look at you pouring into people's lives, you actually blessing people and turning to and introducing something like a Grant Cardone program to people that actually works and people actually evolve and they can see the evolution and they can see how much money is making them. There's a level of appreciation that they have for you, gratitude that they have for you, and loyalty that they have to you that money can't buy. Okay. And so when you have the phone calls, I can't wait till you guys have, ED, let's say SVP and ED portfolios where you have a lot of people who are now making a ton of money based on your decisions and your quality decisions. Okay. And so those come back, quality decisions may be boring, may be unfavorable to you, but they come back to pay you. They come back to give you lifestyle, guys. You just have to stay in the process to show that you are deserving of it. Okay? That's all it is. You got to stay faithful, stay loyal, okay, and stay committed to the process. So, like I said, next week, guys, you guys will know by Tuesday. Again, if the availability of our Grant Cardone specialist is going to be available for next Saturday. And I'm almost certain, unless they have him in training or something at one of the big events, he will be. But I will have somebody come, if not this week, coming up another week for sure. Also, make sure, guys, the other thing, and as we wrap this up as well, the new add-on. Okay, I want to give you guys something special about the new add-on that you guys don't know. Okay, and from a business perspective, I want to make sure you understand when it comes to investment. Remember, investing is something that you must diversify when doing. Okay, you got to have more than one thing in your portfolio. Okay, the only thing you need one of is a spouse. Everything else, when it comes to money, you need diversify. Women, the closets are diversified. They may have the same shoe in different colors, right? Same person, different colors. They diversify, right? So when you look at your portfolios, you want to diversify, and everything that's in your portfolio should not be crypto. Okay, everything you should have some stuff at some point in time that crypto buys for you, right? Real estate, whatever it is, a stock, bonds, whatever you believe in. You should have this thing paying for those things and investing for those things. Long-term investments, you should have your crypto paying for that, but it should evolve. Well, the one thing I don't want you guys to sleep on is that the lifestyle deal that we introduced, because when you look at crypto, how many of you guys, if you actually introduced any type of crypto platform to people and they shut it down because it was crypto, put a one in your chat. Just want to see who we're talking to. Yeah. Yep. Like I expected, everybody, including me. Okay. And so crypto is not for everybody. Everybody's not going to be an early adopter for, SCF. It has to be around. It has to be mentioned on more notable sites, and it has to be given more credibility in an organic fashion for the next level of believers to come on. So you don't push that person away just because they don't understand SCF or they don't believe in crypto. You have a travel club that we just added on that's going to put people in a position where it's not like a regular network marketing company. It's basically you pretty much inviting people to do some traveling with you. And for some people who want to build it, that really want to be in a network marketing company, they can really build that. Okay? And so don't inoculate people from other opportunities that you actually have in your portfolio, because they will end up in other scenarios. People are looking at an all-time high right now. There's never been a time in history, when it comes to America, especially, where people are in desperate need of opportunities and extra income. And so when you look at, oh, you don't want to do this, that's fine. Travel club. It's your plan B. But it's not like any other plan club or travel club out there. This one is actually lucrative. The compensation plan, we sat down with the owners yesterday, Kim and I did, and the new compensation plan adjustments and things that they rolled out is going to make that one of the highest paying network marketing companies out there. It's not going to be crypto money, but it's going to be good, solid money that you're going to build, not by accident, but you'll build it over time just by referring people to the travel program, not to build it, just refer them to the travel side. Okay. So build you a portfolio of people who will be traveling the world with you, and they get a chance to see a lot of different, countries, a lot of experience lifestyle on another level. And when you get that in your spirit, and you start traveling to different places, you want to do it again and again and again. Okay? And so in order to do that, you still got to have money. You still have to have time. And that's what your crypto companies are for, to give you that freedom, give you that time, buy yourself out of a job, and let everything else work.